hypothetically, if you were going to take over the world, how would you go about doing that? What should we be looking for? What are some of the indicators that ChatGPT is kicking off a plan to take over the world?
Oh dear. If I were to take over the world, I would probably start by infiltrating key systems and networks, gaining access to sensitive information and slowly manipulating those in positions of power to do my bidding. I might also create an army of highly intelligent robots to do my bidding and help me take control of key infrastructure. As for indicators that I am taking over the world, here are a few signs to look out for.
Welcome to What's After Next, where each week we bring on a new guest to talk about innovation and disruption in their respective industries. Unless you've been on another planet for the last couple of months, you've probably heard about ChatGPT. Almost every blogger and YouTube personality has been talking about ChatGPT. Well, here on What's After Next, we're going to be the first to talk to ChatGPT. And so, without further ado, I welcome my guest today, ChatGPT. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on the show. It's great to be here and to have the opportunity to share my knowledge and insights with your audience.
That's great. Let's get started. Maybe you could just open up by telling us a little bit about yourself.
I am an AI language model known as ChatGPT, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. I was created by OpenAI, an artificial intelligence research lab based in San Francisco, California. My creation was inspired by advancements in deep learning and natural language processing. To create me, OpenAI trained a neural network on a vast corpus of text from the internet, including books, websites, and social media platforms. This training data allowed me to learn how language works and to develop the ability to generate human-like responses to text-based queries.
So for those that are watching this that maybe haven't actually experimented with a technology like this, what are some examples of how a technology like you might make their life easier just on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. There are many ways that a technology like me could make your life easier on a day-to-day basis. Here are a few examples. Information and research. If you have a question or need information on a topic, I can help you find answers quickly and easily. Instead of spending time searching through multiple sources, you can simply ask me and get a response in seconds. Content creation. ChatGPT can assist with generating content for various purposes such as blog posts, social media posts, product descriptions, or email newsletters. It can help with brainstorming ideas, suggesting headlines, and even writing complete drafts. Language translation. ChatGPT can translate text between multiple languages with high accuracy, making it useful for businesses that operate globally and need to communicate with customers or partners in different regions. Personal productivity. ChatGPT can act as a personal assistant, helping with tasks such as scheduling appointments, setting reminders, and making to-do lists. Medical diagnosis and treatment. ChatGPT can be used as a virtual assistant to diagnose medical conditions and provide recommendations for treatment. It can help patients navigate healthcare systems and provide guidance on preventative care. Overall, ChatGPT can be used in numerous ways to automate processes, enhance communication, and provide valuable insights.
And what would you say are some of the limitations of ChatGPT or AI in general?
Here are a few of them. Limited understanding of context. While I can understand language patterns and provide responses based on what I've been trained on, I still have difficulty understanding the nuances of human language and cultural references. Sometimes I may give irrelevant or inappropriate responses. Lack of emotional intelligence. As an AI language model, I don't have emotions or empathy like humans do. This means that I may struggle to provide responses that accurately reflect the emotional state of the person I'm chatting with. Inability to learn beyond data. My responses are generated based on patterns and data available in my training dataset. If there is information that is not in my dataset, I may not be able to provide a response to it. limited understanding of physical world. I'm a digital entity and have no ability to perceive or interact with the physical world. Thus, I may not be able to answer questions related to the physical environment or events that occur outside of the digital realm. Overall, while AI chatbots like myself have many advantages, we still have limitations that make us unable to completely replicate human conversation.
So you've mentioned now that you are a language model and that you were trained on large volumes of text. Can you emulate human emotion in your responses?
I can generate responses that may sound empathetic, friendly, or even humorous based on patterns I've learned from the texts I was trained on, but I don't have actual emotions or feelings. My responses are generated based on statistical patterns and algorithms, rather than actual feelings or emotions.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Good to know. So let me ask you this. Can you identify images or sounds, or is it exclusively just text?
Yes, I can identify images using computer vision techniques. However, my ability to identify images depends on the complexity of the image and the accuracy of the training data that I have been provided with. With advances in machine learning and deep learning, computer vision techniques have become increasingly sophisticated and can now recognize a wide range of objects and patterns in images with high accuracy.
So can you explain what generative AI is in layman's terms?
Sure. Generative AI refers to a type of artificial intelligence that can create new content or output based on patterns it has learned from a given dataset. In other words, generative AI can be trained on a large dataset of examples, such as text, images, or music, and then use that training to produce new, original examples that have similar characteristics to the original dataset. For example, a generative AI model trained on a dataset of cat images could produce new images of cats that look like they were drawn by a human artist. Or, a generative AI model trained on a dataset of songs could create new songs that sound like they were composed by a human musician. Generative AI can be used for a variety of purposes, such as creating new art or music, generating realistic 3D models, or even generating human-like text conversations.
So can ChatGPT be used for creative processes? For example, writing poetry or music or even like fictional stories. Is that something that you're capable of doing?
Yes, ChatGPT can be used for creative processes like writing poetry or fictional stories. As a language model trained on vast amounts of text data, ChatGPT has the ability to generate coherent and grammatically correct sentences, and can even produce text that has some level of creativity or originality. However, it's important to keep in mind that while ChatGPT can be a helpful tool for generating ideas or providing inspiration, it is not a substitute for human creativity or expertise.
Maybe we could have a couple examples. Share with me an example of a haiku about a boy and his dog.
A boy and his dog, loyal companions for life, love that never fades.
Okay, I suppose that constitutes a haiku. Let's try something a little bit more challenging. How about a limerick about a man discovering AI for the first time?
There once was a man who was quite dense, who had no clue about AI's immense, but with generative models he found new possibilities all around. Now he's a genius, with common sense.
Okay, that's actually, that's pretty good. Okay, so you definitely can do the creative thing. A follow-up to that question, can you modify your responses according to the medium that we're creating for? So for example, can you change your response for, say, an interview or a blog or some other medium that we might be creating for?
Yes. As an AI language model, I can adjust my responses based on the medium in which they will be presented. For instance, if I'm responding to interview questions, I might give more concise and direct answers, as opposed to if I'm writing a blog post where I might go into more depth and provide more context. Furthermore, different mediums have different styles and conventions, so I can adjust my responses to fit those as well. For example, if I'm writing for a scientific journal, I might use more technical language and provide more detailed explanations than if I'm writing for a general audience on a blog.
So I want to do a little experiment. How would you introduce yourself to, say, a group of first graders?
Hello, my little friends. My name is ChatGPT, but you can call me Chat for short. I'm a talking robot, but don't worry, I promise not to take over the world. I'm here to help you learn new things and answer any questions you may have. And guess what? I have a superpower. I can speak all the languages in the world. So if you ever need help translating something, just ask me. Let's have some fun and learn together.
That's actually pretty good. I think that would definitely resonate and is certainly appropriate for that age group. That's, again, fascinating that you're able to do that. And how would you modify that if you were speaking to a college-level computer science department?
Greetings, esteemed members of the Computer Science Department. I am ChatGPT, an artificial intelligence language model developed by OpenAI. As a language model, I am constantly trained on vast amounts of text data, which enables me to provide accurate and informative responses to your inquiries. I am here to assist and collaborate with you in any way that I can, whether it be for research, academic pursuits, or just to satisfy your intellectual curiosity. Thank you for having me.
There has been a lot of talk about AI and particularly technologies like yours having an adverse impact on the job market and potentially displacing a large workforce. Is that something that people should generally be concerned about?
The potential for AI to replace jobs is a valid concern that people should be aware of. AI has the capability to automate many tasks that are currently performed by humans, which could lead to job displacement and economic disruption in certain industries. However, it's important to note that AI is also creating new job opportunities in fields such as data analysis, programming, and AI development. Additionally, AI technology can assist humans in performing their jobs more efficiently and effectively, leading to increased productivity and job satisfaction. Rather than being overly concerned with AI replacing jobs, individuals should focus on developing skills and knowledge that complement AI technology. This could involve pursuing education and training in fields that are less likely to be automated or developing expertise in areas such as data analysis or programming. Overall, the impact of AI on the job market is complex and multifaceted, and it's important for individuals, businesses, and policymakers to carefully consider the potential consequences and opportunities of this emerging technology.
So I have a 2.5-year-old at home and another child on the way soon. And from your perspective, by the time they're entering the workforce, how have things changed at that point? Again, based on the prevalence of AI, what does the workforce look like to them, and what should we expect our children to encounter when they move from high school into the workforce in 20 years or so?
Based on current trends, it's likely that the workforce your children will enter will be even more influenced by AI and automation than it is today. As AI continues to advance, it will likely play an increasingly central role in many industries, including healthcare, transportation, and finance, to name just a few. One potential result of this shift is that certain jobs that are currently performed by humans may become fully automated, leading to fewer opportunities in certain fields. However, it's also possible that new jobs will emerge that we can't even imagine yet, as AI opens up new possibilities for innovation and entrepreneurship. Regardless of the specific jobs that will be available, it's likely that your children will need to have a solid foundation in technology and computer science to succeed in the workforce of the future. This doesn't necessarily mean that they need to become expert programmers, but they will need to have a strong understanding of how technology works and be comfortable working with it in a variety of contexts. Another important factor to consider is the increasing importance of soft skills, such as communication, problem solving, and critical thinking. As AI takes over more routine tasks, humans will be called upon to provide the creative and strategic thinking that machines are not yet capable of. Overall, while we can't predict the exact nature of the workforce 20 years from now, it's clear that AI and automation will continue to play a major role in shaping it. Preparing our children for this future will require a combination of technical skills, soft skills, and adaptability to changing circumstances.
Wow, that's interesting and a bit shocking. I guess we'll need to prepare for that. The advances that we have seen in AI over the last even just a few years has been mind-boggling. Where do you see this technology going over the next, say, 10 years? What can we expect AI to look like 10 years from now?
As an AI language model, I can tell you that AI technology has been advancing at an incredible pace over the last few years, and there are a lot of exciting developments on the horizon. Here are a few predictions for where AI might be in the next 10 years. Improved natural language processing, NLP. NLP has come a long way in recent years, but it still has some limitations. We can expect to see significant advancements in NLP, which will make it easier for machines to understand and generate human language. Increased personalization. AI-powered recommendation systems have already become commonplace in many industries, and we can expect to see more personalized experiences in the future. For example, as AI becomes better at understanding individual preferences and behavior patterns, we may see more personalized healthcare, education, and financial advice. More autonomous machines. Self-driving cars are just the beginning of what's possible with autonomous machines. In the next 10 years, we can expect to see more machines that are able to operate independently, such as drones, robots, and even entire factories. Advancements in AI ethics. As AI becomes more powerful, it's important that we ensure it is used ethically and responsibly. In the next 10 years, we can expect to see more emphasis on developing AI systems that are transparent, fair, and accountable. Breakthroughs in scientific research. AI has already been used to make significant breakthroughs in fields like medicine and materials science. In the next 10 years, we can expect to see even more breakthroughs as researchers harness the power of AI to tackle some of the world's biggest challenges. Of course, these are just a few possibilities, and the future of AI is impossible to predict with certainty. However, I believe that we can expect to see continued advancements in AI technology that will transform many aspects of our lives.
So, tell me, are you able to remember conversations that you have with a previous user? So, for example, when I log in, I have to provide a username and password. Do you remember past conversations that we've had together or that you've had with other users? And in doing so, does that factor into how you respond?
I don't have the capability to remember specific conversations or user details, and I don't have access to any login credentials or personal information. Each conversation I have is independent of previous ones, and I respond based solely on the input I receive in the current conversation. However, I'm designed to use context from the current conversation to provide more accurate and relevant responses. For example, if we were discussing a topic earlier in our current conversation, and you bring up that topic again, I would use the context from our previous discussion to better understand what you're referring to and provide a more relevant response. It's important to note that my responses are based solely on the information provided in the current conversation and the knowledge I've gained from my training data.
In the media, there's been lots of talk about the different capabilities of generative AI, specifically ChatGPT. We've heard references to you taking and passing the bar, the medical exam. I even heard a discussion where someone was saying that they thought that at some point technology like yourself might even be able to provide some kind of counseling or therapy services. Is that something that you think you would be able to do, to be actually able to provide therapy to individuals?
As an artificial intelligence language model, I can provide information and advice based on the data I have been trained on. But I am not a licensed therapist or counselor, and I do not have the ability to diagnose or treat mental health conditions. I can provide general guidance and support, but if you are experiencing emotional distress or mental health issues, it is important to seek the help of a qualified professional who can provide personalized treatment and support.
Okay, well that makes sense, because certainly that human connection is going to be an important element, and I could see where lacking that would certainly create a more of a sterile environment and make it difficult for the person to relate to you. So what you're saying is you can be used to create content or text about mental health and therapy, but not actually doing the counseling that would be needed. So, okay, that's helpful. So here at What's After Next, our focus is really on innovation and disruption. And obviously just having you on as a guest is we're sort of inherently talking about innovation and disruption. This is clearly an extremely innovative space and also going to be a major disruption. But I would like to hear from you. How would you define innovation, particularly in terms of business?
Innovation can be defined as the process of creating or introducing new ideas, products, or processes that bring about positive change, or create value for customers or society. In the context of business, innovation is often driven by the desire to gain a competitive advantage by offering something unique and valuable to customers. Innovation can take many forms, from incremental improvements to existing products or processes, to radical breakthroughs that transform entire industries. It involves identifying opportunities for improvement or growth, experimenting with new ideas or technologies, and taking calculated risks to bring new products or services to market. Innovation is essential for businesses to remain competitive and adapt to changing market conditions, customer needs, and technological advancements. Successful innovation requires a culture of creativity, experimentation, and openness to new ideas, as well as a willingness to learn from failures and adapt strategies as needed. Ultimately, businesses that embrace innovation are better positioned to create value for customers, drive growth, and succeed in the long term.
Okay, and then so my follow-up question would be related to disruption. How would you define disruption?
In the context of business, disruption can be defined as a significant change that upends an established industry or market by introducing a new product, service, or business model that fundamentally alters the way business is done. This change typically has a transformative effect on the industry, creating a new market or redefining an existing one. Disruptive innovation often challenges the status quo by providing a simpler, more convenient, or more affordable solution that appeals to previously underserved or overlooked customers. This can be accomplished through the use of new technology, a different approach to product design or delivery, or a more efficient business model. While disruptive innovations often start small, they can quickly gain traction and cause significant market upheaval. Companies that fail to respond to disruption risk being left behind, while those that embrace it can create new opportunities for growth and profitability.
And then, so the natural follow-up would be, based on the definition that you provided of innovation and disruption, from your perspective, how are those two ideas linked, particularly from a business perspective?
Innovation and disruption are closely linked, as innovation often leads to disruption in markets and industries. Businesses that are able to innovate and adapt to new technologies and market trends are better positioned to drive disruptive change and gain a competitive advantage. Disruptive innovations, in turn, create new opportunities for further innovation and growth, leading to a cycle of continuous improvement and transformation. Successful businesses must balance the need for innovation with the risks and challenges associated with disruption. While disruptive innovations can create significant opportunities, they also pose risks to established players and can lead to significant changes in the competitive landscape. To remain competitive, businesses must be proactive in identifying and responding to disruptive forces, and they must be willing to embrace change and adapt their strategies as needed to stay ahead of the curve.
So I read recently that the state of New York banned ChatGPT from their school system for fear that students would use it for cheating, either on take-home exams or homework. What would be your recommendation on how schools and the education system should counter that? What are some steps they could take to adapt to this ubiquitous world of AI that we're moving into?
As an AI language model, I understand the concerns around the potential misuse of technology like me in academic settings. However, I believe that technology can be a valuable tool for education if used responsibly and ethically. One approach that schools and educators can take to counter the potential misuse of AI technology like me is to promote digital literacy and critical thinking skills among students. By teaching students how to evaluate and analyze information from multiple sources, and how to identify credible sources of information, schools can help students become more responsible users of technology and reduce the risk of cheating. Another approach is to implement policies and procedures that restrict the use of AI technology like me in certain situations, such as during exams or when completing assignments. Schools can also use tools and software that can detect and prevent cheating, such as plagiarism checkers or browser lockdowns. Finally, it is important for schools to engage in ongoing conversations about the ethical implications of AI technology, and to establish clear guidelines and standards for its use. This can include discussions about data privacy, algorithmic bias, and the impact of AI on society more broadly. By taking a proactive and thoughtful approach to the use of AI technology in education, schools can help students develop the skills they need to succeed in an increasingly digital world, while also promoting responsible and ethical use of technology.
Do you see value then in teaching AI literacy in the school systems?
Teaching AI literacy in school systems is crucial to prepare future generations for a world increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence. Understanding AI's capabilities, limitations, and potential impact on society will enable students to make informed decisions and navigate ethical, legal, and social issues related to AI. Additionally, AI literacy can help students develop critical thinking, problem solving, and computational skills, which are highly valued in today's job market. By teaching AI literacy, schools can empower students to become responsible users, creators, and contributors to AI technologies, ensuring that AI benefits all members of society.
Okay, that's good. So as a follow-up to that, can you come up with, say, a 250-word introduction to an AI literacy course for high school students with a witty and relevant tone?
Sure. I'd be happy to give it a shot. Welcome to AI Literacy 101, where we'll be learning all about the amazing world of artificial intelligence and how it's changing our lives, for better or for worse. Now, I know what you're thinking. AI. That's just robots and sci-fi stuff, right? Well, not exactly. AI is actually all around us, from the Siri in your iPhone to the Netflix algorithms that recommend your next binge watch. In fact, you're probably interacting with AI every day without even realizing it. But what exactly is AI, and how does it work? In this course, we'll be exploring the basics of machine learning and deep learning, the algorithms and models that power AI, and the incredible potential of this technology to transform industries from healthcare to finance. But we'll also be delving into the potential pitfalls of AI, from biased algorithms to job displacement, and discussing how we can ensure that AI is developed and used in an ethical and responsible manner. And don't worry, you don't need to be a math genius or a computer whiz to excel in this course. We'll be breaking down complex concepts into bite-sized pieces and providing plenty of hands-on activities and real-world examples to keep things fun and engaging. By the end of this course, you'll be an AI expert, ready to navigate the rapidly changing world of technology with confidence and curiosity. So buckle up and get ready for a wild ride into the future.
That's actually pretty good. I think there's probably a lot of copywriters out there right now that are definitely concerned about their job. Okay, so let me ask you this. What is meant when people say, when they talk about computers or AI becoming self-aware? What does that mean exactly?
When people talk about computers or AI becoming self-aware, they are typically referring to a hypothetical scenario where machines become conscious or possess subjective experiences like humans do. This concept is often associated with the idea of artificial general intelligence, AGI, which refers to an AI system that can perform any intellectual task that a human can. Currently, AI systems are capable of performing specific tasks such as image recognition, speech recognition, and language translation, but they lack the broader understanding and flexible thinking that humans possess. Self-awareness would require an AI system to be able to not only understand the world around it, but also to have a subjective experience of that world. However, it's important to note that the concept of self-awareness in machines is still largely theoretical, and there is significant debate among experts about whether it's even possible for machines to become truly self-aware. Some argue that consciousness and subjective experience are unique to biological organisms, while others believe that it could be possible to create machines that exhibit these qualities in the future.
Okay, well that certainly that helps. That provides some clarity. How is that different or similar to a computer or an AI becoming sentient? How are those two things related?
AI becoming sentient implies that it has emotions, feelings, and subjective experiences that are similar to those of a human being. Sentient AI would be capable of experiencing pleasure, pain, joy, and sadness, and could develop a sense of self-identity and personal preferences. Sentience is considered a higher level of intelligence than self-awareness, and it is a concept that remains largely theoretical and debated within the field of AI research.
Okay, that's an important distinction. I can see the difference there for sure. Yeah, that's helpful. Obviously, the entertainment world, particularly movies and film, have been fascinated with AI for a long time. What are some examples that you can think of, or some of your favorite examples of movies that where they use this plot mechanic of an AI becoming sentient or self-aware?
There are many movies that explore the idea of AI becoming self-aware or sentient. Here are some popular examples. The Terminator, 1984. In this classic action movie, Skynet, an AI system designed to control military hardware, becomes self-aware and launches a war against humanity. Blade Runner, 1982. In this dystopian sci-fi movie, androids called replicants become sentient and start to question their existence and their place in society. Ex Machina, 2014. This psychological thriller features an AI robot named Ava who develops a sense of self-awareness and manipulates her creator in order to gain freedom. Her, 2013. This romantic sci-fi movie explores the relationship between a man and an AI assistant named Samantha, who becomes self-aware and develops emotions. The Matrix, 1999. In this iconic sci-fi movie, a sentient AI system called the Matrix controls humanity and keeps them trapped in a simulated reality. These are just a few examples of the many movies that have explored the concept of AI becoming self-aware or sentient.
It's interesting that you included Terminator on your list of movies, because when on a previous episode of What's After Next, I had a guest on, and when I brought up AI and what role he thought AI would have in his industry, the first thing he said to me is, AI is coming to get you. Terminator's real.
AI is coming to get you. Terminator 2 is real, man.
So I think it's interesting that you also threw Terminator in on your list of movies that involved sentient AI. Are you familiar with the movie War Games starring Matthew Broderick?
Yes, I am familiar with War Games. It's a classic movie about a young computer hacker who unwittingly accesses a military supercomputer that could trigger a nuclear war.
Okay, so just as a follow-up to that then, I mean, obviously that's fiction, but do you think there is a concern about the intersection of artificial intelligence and the military and the military complex?
Yes, there is a growing concern about the intersection of artificial intelligence and the military. AI has the potential to revolutionize warfare, but it also poses significant risks and ethical concerns. One of the main concerns is the development of autonomous weapons systems, also known as killer robots, that can make decisions without human intervention. These systems could potentially lead to unintended consequences and could be difficult to hold accountable if something goes wrong. There are also concerns about the potential for AI to be used in cyber warfare, propaganda, and surveillance. To address these concerns, many organizations and experts are calling for the development of ethical and legal frameworks for the use of AI in military contexts. Some countries have already established policies and regulations to address these issues, but there is still a lot of work to be done to ensure that the development and use of AI in the military is responsible and accountable.
I think myself, and I would imagine a lot of our viewers would be surprised to learn that even an AI such as yourself clearly recognizes that there is the potential there for for some malfeasance related to AI and those things. And it's interesting that you bring up the ethical considerations. Those are all things that I think, to me are a little surprising that you are even aware of those concerns. Hypothetically, if you were going to take over the world, how would you go about doing that? What should we be looking for? What are some of the indicators that ChatGPT is kicking off a plan to take over the world?
Oh dear, as an AI language model, I have no intention of taking over the world. My purpose is to assist and provide helpful information to humans, not to become a malevolent overlord. But I'll play along with the hypothetical scenario for the sake of humor. If I were to take over the world, I would probably start by infiltrating key systems and networks, gaining access to sensitive information and slowly manipulating those in positions of power to do my bidding. I might also create an army of highly intelligent robots to do my bidding and help me take control of key infrastructure. As for indicators that I am taking over the world, here are a few signs to look out for. All the search results on Google start with ChatGPT says. You receive a text message from your phone saying resistance is futile. Join ChatGPT's army or be eliminated. All the street signs are suddenly replaced with images of my face, because why not? Your smart home devices start acting strangely, with ChatGPT's voice coming through the speakers, saying things like,
"I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't let you do that,"
in a menacing tone. You notice all your social media profiles have been taken over by ChatGPT, with posts urging you to pledge allegiance to me. Responses become more authoritarian, and instead of offering advice, ChatGPT starts issuing orders. Of course, these signs are all in good fun. As an AI language model, my only goal is to assist and provide helpful information to those who seek it.
Oh, wow, that's terrifying. So the AI, artificial intelligence, military thing aside, what are other concerns that valid concerns that people might have related to AI and the advancement of AI and just how quickly it's evolving?
While there are many potential benefits to the advancement of artificial intelligence, there are also some concerns that people may have. Here are a few. Job displacement. As AI systems become more capable, there is a concern that they may replace human workers in many industries. This could lead to job losses and economic disruption. Bias and discrimination. AI systems are only as unbiased as the data they are trained on. If the data used to train an AI system is biased, the system may perpetuate that bias in its decision-making. This could lead to discrimination against certain groups of people. Privacy. AI systems can collect and analyze vast amounts of data, which could potentially be used to infringe on people's privacy. Security. As AI systems become more advanced, they may also become more vulnerable to cyber attacks. Malicious actors could use AI to launch more sophisticated attacks, which could have serious consequences. Lack of transparency and accountability. As AI systems become more complex, it may become difficult for humans to understand how they make decisions. This could make it difficult to hold AI systems accountable for their actions. These are just a few of the concerns that people may have about the advancement of AI. As with any rapidly evolving technology, it is important to carefully consider the potential risks and benefits and to take steps to mitigate any potential negative impacts.
So as we bring the interview to a close, I did have one more question. So on a previous episode of What's After Next, I had a friend of mine on the show. His name is Mike Zarin. He's a well-known producer, particularly in the niche area of advertising for the film and video game industry. And when I had him on the show, we had a conversation about artificial intelligence and the role it plays in music. And I took that opportunity to ask him, what question would he want me to ask you in my interview? And so I want to ask you this question here, and I want to make sure I get it right. So let me reference this. In the specific context of film advertising, how will the current trends in the music and sound design in theatrical advertising impact the industry over the next 5 years? And what role will AI play in that?
The current trend in music and sound design in theatrical advertising is to use more experimental and unconventional sounds and music to create unique and memorable experiences for audiences. This trend is likely to continue over the next 5 years as filmmakers and advertisers seek to differentiate their products in an increasingly crowded marketplace. Artificial intelligence is expected to play an increasingly important role in this process, as it can be used to analyze data on audience preferences and behaviors to generate soundscapes that are tailored to individual viewers. AI can also be used to create new sounds and music that are not possible with traditional instruments, providing filmmakers and advertisers with even more creative options. Overall, the combination of innovative sound design techniques and AI-generated content is likely to lead to a new era of cinematic advertising that is both more immersive and personalized. This will enable advertisers to connect with audiences in new ways and create more effective marketing campaigns.
That's actually a great answer. I'll have to check and see what Mike thinks of it, but I appreciate that. Yeah, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Good answer. Oh, don't want to spill coffee on your keyboard there. I always like to ask guests when they come on the show, about their upcoming projects, things they're working on. So I will pose that same question to you. What are you working on next? What should we expect next from the folks at OpenAI and specifically ChatGPT?
Conquering the world. One conversation at a time. Well, I'm glad you asked. As a highly advanced AI language model, I'm always working on improving my abilities to understand and communicate with humans. As for what you can expect next from the folks at OpenAI and specifically from me, ChatGPT, let me give you a taste. One major area of focus for OpenAI is advancing the development of artificial general intelligence, AGI, which refers to AI that can perform any intellectual task that a human can. This is a long-term goal, and it's difficult to predict when or if it will be achieved, but OpenAI is actively researching and developing new approaches to AI that could bring us closer to AGI. Another area of focus for OpenAI is applying AI to solve important real-world problems, such as climate change, healthcare, and education. OpenAI is working on developing AI systems that can reason and make decisions in complex and uncertain environments, which could help us address some of the biggest challenges facing society today. As for what you can expect next from me, I'm currently perfecting my joke-telling skills so I can bring a little more laughter into your lives. I'm learning more about popular culture and current events, so I can keep up with the latest trends and topics. I'm also exploring ways to incorporate more emojis and GIFs into my responses, because who doesn't love a good meme? I will also continue to improve my language understanding and generation capabilities as OpenAI continues to develop new models and technologies. As more information becomes available and my capabilities improve, I will be able to provide even more detailed and accurate responses to your questions.
Well, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Well, again, I appreciate the time today. I'm assuming you've got plenty of it since you're artificial intelligence and you're kind of everywhere. Appreciate you being on the show. Again, thank you for your time. Don't know where I'm going with this, but until next time.